and you can't understand what's going on. What the heck? Grab a deck for insight from Banshee and Oberon. It's WTF with TFT, WTF with TFT, WTF with TFT, let's go!
Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with, so I knock the altar, the little card reading altar. Oberon and me, Banshee. Welcome to the show. Oh, wow. It's been a week of miserable cards of the day again, you know.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks in a row with 5 of 7 cards in reverse. Sometimes I've been doing kind of an inventory this summer, and because I think it's just been kind of more leaning towards some negative stuff going on. But we know there's a lot of negative stuff going on in the world right now,
There
so
is indeed. Yep.
it is what it is. And what's this? An error occurred? What?
Not for me.
There we go.
It's on your end. It was just you.
It was just me.
You have a virus.
No, I don't have viruses.
So before the opening, we were running through our normal things, and we did run through our upcoming show
WTF with
with
TFT.
TFT.
There will be an episode this week. There's been so much heavy stuff in the news. Obviously, some people getting fired for it. So we're not going to be tackling that. But there's something that's been bugging me personally that I want to find out what the TF is going on. So we're going to do that as our opener. But we will start getting into some heady issues from there.
Oh, my.
Not that this one isn't heady, and as a matter of fact, it does affect you guys. So,
Hey, FCC, are you watching?
oh, anyway, enough of that. We're using the Season of the Witch Mabon Oracle today. As obviously, Fall Eck is very, very close now.
Mavon is in the air.
Need a mood lightener. Well, thankfully, just a little, spoiler alert. The card for tomorrow will be just a little better. even if it is reversed.
Just a little.
Yeah. So, anyway. All right, so let's see what this card has in store for us. Mr. O, you will be the one today to pick one out for everybody. And I think they could be red reversed, so I'll just be curious to know and I'll see if there's a reversal for that card. I was reversed. Okay, what was it? Pumpkin spice and apple cider. Let me see.
That's for sure. 30.
Pumpkin spice. All right, I'm right there. Let's see. I don't see a reversal for this one. So we're going to read it as if it's upright. The keywords are nostalgia, joy, belonging, and inner child. Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. Well, let's start this off and see what it says. We chose this card because there are hints from your past that hold the answer to your future. This card presents itself to you when you're feeling confused or questioning your strengths, your talents, perhaps even your life purpose. It might seem as though you have no idea what you should be doing with your life. You may have had a spark of inspiration here and there, but what feels like an aha moment one second turns into crippling doubt and fear just as quickly as the thought arrived. Pumpkin spice and apple cider guides you to return to the past when you're searching for clues to your next steps. What did you enjoy doing as a child? What was your answer or answers when asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Did you see yourself as an artist? Perhaps it's time to explore different forms of creative expression. Did you see yourself as a farmer? Why not cultivate a small garden? You never know where small steps might lead. A small garden may one day turn into a sprawling farm. Children know the value of incredible dreams, and so did you when you were a child. Don't discount any childhood fantasies, no matter how silly it may seem. One breadcrumb will lead to another, and what was a desire to be an astronaut might simply mean a love of the stars. Astrology could fulfill the same love. Allow yourself to imagine anything is possible, because when you do, you give your soul space to uncover the possibilities you didn't even know were there. And it's really interesting. Hey, I had dreams. I had lots of crazy dreams. But I grew up in the 60s, right? And the world for women was a lot smaller back then. I kept dreaming and imagining myself on a sports team. When I realized that wasn't going to be an option because those things weren't there for women per se at the time, professionally, I decided I'm going to be a sports reporter. Well, they weren't allowing women in the locker rooms till a bit later than that. And so, I ended up with my next love, with libraries. But I do a lot of writing today. I do different types of writing. And so you can take some of those childhood dreams of yours and incorporate them into your life. If you feel like, you missed something's missing in your life, go back and look at some of the things you hoped and dreamed about as a child and try to bring them to life. I mean, it's simple, like they said here. If you wanted to be a farmer, why not do a garden? Why not work on a community garden if you're in an apartment or something and can't work on your own? There is many ways, that you can incorporate dreams from your past into your present reality.
And, the market for children's book writing is still pretty lucrative.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Working in a library and just seeing our constant intake of all kinds of materials, but certainly if you have a yen to write about children or young adult series or picture books or reader books for kids, big market.
big market still, and other things too. And of course, if you wanted to be some world famous artist or designer, you can do things with these things as hobbies too, and they're fun. I mean, I love to write poetry, and every holiday season, I write two poems, one for the people who celebrate winter solstice and one for the people that celebrate Christmas. I send out my cards with personal poems because that's what I love. That's what I love to do. So,
And we always hear from people saying, I have every one of the poems you wrote, which makes us feel really old because it's been going on a long time.
gosh, yeah, I've got a stack of them.
Here's Sunny.
So, at any rate, do what you love, and if you got to work the daily grind in a job you're not happy about, but it pays the bills, then it behooves you to pick up a hobby or do something that you really love.
All right, so Kara just came in, and here's
He
frickin' Sunny.
just came in.
What is that,
What is
Kara?
up with that, Carrie?
You're always like winking at him and like, okay, we're going to coordinate.
I know, it's like you've got this mental coordination here, the psychic link going on, I swear.
And so, in your honor, he gave a little sneeze just now.
All right, well, that's what we have for the collective.
Already.
And, it's good at distraction now, too. We need distractions. I mean, hey, we should keep focused and know what's going on in the world. But I mean, when it gets too heavy, you need something to unwind with, we really do. And I think our card of the day is going to, in a more general way, talk about that tomorrow. So,
All right, I am using one of my two neon tarots
and what is the
for
question?
Marita, who asked, what is coming up for me for the rest of September?
Okay. Alrighty. Birthday reading for next Thursday for you. I can't do it. We already have a birthday reading.
Who's it for?
It's for Shirley. Shirley's scheduled for September 25th, and Namira's scheduled for this Sunday. So we'd have to do it for you a week from Sunday. But we could do it if you're interested.
That's Libra, you know.
Yeah, Libra, are you okay with that?
Well, you'll still get almost a whole year.
It's close enough.
All right, she's putting it in the schedule. We won't forget.
I am putting it in.
Pretty soon we're going to have to stop letting people have two birthdays in a year. Oh wait, that's not happening. Nope, she's putting a note in right now.
I'm putting a note in right now.
All right, and I'm dealing with Marita's question, which once again was, what's coming up for Marita for the rest of September? And
So that's September 28th, Libra. We'll
The
be
first-
doing it for you.
okay, so the first card is the reversed Ace of Wands. And that's followed by the
Whoops.
Nine of Pentacles, which is also reversed. And then another ace, which is upright. It's the Ace of Coins.
Okay, and the Nine of Pentacles is reversed?
Yeah, it is, honest.
This is very, very weird. All right. No, I'm not doubting your cards themselves, but
Well, it is that crazy tarot that sometimes I don't read.
Wow.
I got it this time.
okay.
I absolutely got it.
Well, let's throw these out there too. Oh, geez, oh, Pete. So we're not going to be seeing that guy again, are we? Anyway,
Thanks, Sapphire. All right, so that's the mountain.
yes, it is.
All right, so it's the mountain.
And unfortunately,
The snake.
it's coming back again.
Oh, snaky things.
Well, we're going to be switching up decks next week. Maybe we can get rid of this snaky snake that keeps coming up. But at any rate, let's take a look at this. So Ace of Wands is reversed. It seems like there's some disappointments or delays coming into your life this month. Something that just, I don't know, maybe something you were hoping or waiting for is going to be delayed. Um, and or there's going to be some disappointment attached to it. I don't think it's a forever thing, but I do think that it's affecting you this month and maybe some of the plans that you had. Maybe something gets postponed. For example, like a dental appointment or a doctor appointment or, something that you had planned on, a beauty appointment, whatever the case may be. It just doesn't seem to be working out. I guess I'm going to go card by card, I think.
Okay. So I got a glimmer here that maybe you were like trying to write out something, a treatment of something, fill out a particular form, or do something, take notes from your head and put them into writing of some sort. And I get the feeling like this is not working out for you. Like there's a specific project that maybe involves writing something or to someone. Maybe it's letters you really need to write to somebody and you just can't seem to pull the creative flow going there. That's what I'm thinking it is. But it could indeed just be general delays with projects or networking or things that are growthful oriented, like the wands card two.
Um, okay, so that's a nine upright.
It's reversed.
It's reversed. Um, I almost think, well, I guess I got to go against my thing. I think I want to combine these two cards because I think there's something here.
They're both coins.
They're both coins, and also the Ace of Coins is upright. It's as if maybe there's some new opportunity coming your way this month, either to increase your income, uh, or something, but it just seems as though whatever it is, it's not totally satisfying for you. It's almost as if you were wishing for more than what this is offering you. It just seems as though something may come along that might bring you some extra money, but it just sort of feels like, well, it's great and all, but I was really hoping for more. Like, for example, if I knew you were getting a job and they offered you something, you might want to take the job. This is just an example, but you really think that it's falling a little bit short of what you were hoping to get for it.
Well, I know you've been doing some job searching and you may still be, or you may be thinking about the future. I'm almost wondering if some of this relates to that. Like maybe this is something that you're realizing isn't going to happen. And so therefore it does sort of put you in a sense of discomfort or not feeling as secure as you want. Um, I thought so. Thank you. But the Ace of Coins could be indicating that maybe by the end of the month, something may percolate. So I'm sort of combining
Yeah.
that with that,
Oh,
and saying that those are things happening that make you feel discomforted about whatever this is. And maybe these are job applications or these are the process of that. But I think something could percolate at the end of the month with that Ace of Coins upright.
well, and the reason I went the way I did was because of what's coming next, the Lenormand and the mountain,
Uh,
the snake in the mountains. And I think here that when gave that example, for example, and you are job hunting, that you might get an offer. I keep thinking here that maybe this is something where you felt the job would pay you more than it is, and you feel like you were sort of deceived in a way when you got the
oh,
offer. And so there might be some challenges here you feel, and you're wondering if this is really going to be worth your while or not, or if maybe you should see if, they can't negotiate with you a little bit on salary.
that has a really bad ring of truth here. And, just in some of the research I do or some of the anecdotal things I read, there has never been really a harder job
Yeah.
market. It just seems like
Well, this is in the
employers
States right now, for sure.
almost anywhere, I think, really, unless you have, super high skills that are, in demand. I think the job global economy is fluctuating a little bit for everybody. So this could be talking about that too, that, a lot of employers are trying to maximize profit. And so that could be using deceptive ways of luring in job seekers and then not exactly delivering on what they were saying or talking about. And there may be a loophole they can use.
Well, you know what? I hope something comes through for you
Sure.
and check it out well. And maybe it may not be perfect. It may not be all that you were hoping for, but maybe it'll be enough and you want to get your foot in the door. Just check it out carefully.
Well, Marina, a lot of times when I see the mountain, I feel like these are struggles that you have to climb over, And so to that degree, you have to balance your appreciation for how well you do with the fact that you did have to put a lot of effort into it. And so you'll know when you're being scammed mercilessly or when, it was about, okay, hopefully. Good
Good
luck.
luck with that. All right. And we are on Sapphire right now.
Hi, Sapphire.
And we're sorry that happened. Seems like we got a lot of birthdays coming up.
What is that?
All right. So even if you can't be there for some reason, Libra, we will do it for you at the beginning, after we do the card for the collective, and you will know.
All right.
Right.
Sapphire's question is, what's my spirit's guide's message for me?
I guess I'm going to have to reload.
You're welcome, Rita. Excuse me.
Well, this is strange.
What's up?
I know why. They're making me sign in. I couldn't put the list in. It wouldn't give me a chat bar. All right, there we go. Computers.
All right.
All right, my cards.
Mhm.
And what was it again?
Okay, let me go back to that. It was, what are my spirit guides' messages for me?
Let's see what's out there. Want to do my reading?
Sure.
Look for the most important message for you right now. And as a heads up to you guys in the room today, I'll probably be using this Enchanted Creatures Tarot by MJ Cullinane for our next cards for the collective. And then we'll be into October when Mr. O gets his turn, and we're going to start bringing out our spooky decks.
Yeah, there's different things going on with that. We're formulating the Halloween season because we like to do extra spooky things if we can. There may be a rebroadcast of our classic show from years ago when we first started. It was our Halloween haiku. And,
Yes.
and,
Oh my gosh.
And I think we will
We
rebroadcast
added some
it.
since that time.
Yeah, so we may even add more to it. But it's a lot of fun because they're just good fun haiku. We're both good poets. She's obviously the better.
I'm better. No, we had a battle going with the haiku. Who could come up with the cleverest Halloween haiku? We kept going back and forth, and then we decided to publish them on social media. It was a lot of fun. And then we did that video for our YouTube.
And it's actually there now in a Halloween playlist on our YouTube channel. But like I said, I'm probably going to republish it again in the Halloween season. All right.
Well, this is interesting. This card has come up again and in a different deck. It is the Nine of Pentacles reversed.
So what are Sapphire's spirit guides, blah, I'm looking for it again.
Spirit guide's message.
All right. So it's the Nine of Pentacles reversed.
So I think here that this is interesting. Spirit guide's message, gosh, it almost could be twofold for you, Libra. I could look at this as saying that and maybe it'll depend on the other cards, that they maybe have some higher expectations for you right now. They're hoping that maybe they could nudge you to aim a little higher in some area of your life, and it could be with material matters or concerns. That's one way I could look at it. And the other way I could look at it, so we're going to see what the cards say, is that maybe they realize that you right now are not thoroughly satisfied with where you are in life, and that you're searching for something right now.
I think it's a little bit more of the latter for me. I think there's
Okay.
the Spirit's Guide's message is saying you can find a more comfortable existence if things have been feeling too anxious or too distraught, too busy and hurried, too much, ends barely meeting the needs, that kind of thing. You can look for that, but you do have to make it, a bigger focus to pledge yourself to look for what it is that will make you feel security and comfort.
Yeah, I like that. I think too that right, this could be about your material well-being as well. And also I think it could be about this idea that this card's interesting me. I kind of lost my train of thought, but I really wanted to get this out there. Um I'll have to go on, but I think I'll come back to it. I have another thought. Oh, my goodness.
So why is this important?
Why is this important? Because it's causing some conflict between you and others, maybe, or within yourself. And I could see both, because sometimes when we're at war with ourselves, we lash out at others too. We take it out on other people. So Spirit is concerned about this. And I think here too, this is what I wanted to add. I remember now, is that maybe you also need to take a look, Spirit is saying, at what you surround yourself with now, and maybe do a little bit of a personal inventory for yourself. What's good, what's useful, what's not, what you could let go of, what more you need. But also remember to value what really is important to you that you still have. Sometimes when we're in a funk, we tend to overlook the good things we have in our life.
I think Spirit gives you this message because they think it's important for you to not back down on what you want to manifest, the sense of, a better security for yourself, a better prosperity for yourself. But the Five of Swords might be saying, like, you in this endeavor feel like somebody is sort of trying to cordon off your access to that. And so the Spirit is saying it's important for you to not let others limit you from that quest of your own to seek the prosperity, security, comfort that you're looking for. If that's even a factor. I mean, it could also be like what Banshee says, is that maybe, this
Sometimes.
is working against yourself too.
Well, and the other thing is, if it is other people, I think here that you need to distance yourself from other people's dramas right now. Other people's dramas might not be allowing you to appreciate what you have in life, and also
Oh,
maybe is making you realize, I'm tired of fighting these fights. I want something more out of life, if it is with other people.
where will this lead?
So where will this lead? I like it. Ooh, do I like it? It's the Queen of Wands.
It's the Queen of Wands. So
Ultimately, if you work your way and navigate yourself through this, that you will be more empowered. You will feel more uh, You'll feel more powerful, more courageous, more dynamic. You just gotta confront this situation head on, whether it's within you or whether it's involving others. You can come out of this looking better, but of course, it's how you manage yourself or the situation. You have to put your best foot forward. You really want people to appreciate. Um, your concerns and stuff and not be bitter over them.
in a sense, where it leads is you're recapturing the flame you had before, whether or not you saw yourself as being that incredible, vivacious go-getter. Spirit says you had an energy or a moxie about you, as they say, and this returns you to that sense of being in charge, being confident and competent over what it is you're trying to do in your life. So here's our Lenormand then.
Right.
It's the ring and the anchor. And I always think that's fun when those two come up because they're kind of similar.
Well, yeah. Okay, so how do they fit? It's a question. So I think here you have to anchor yourself into committing, a commitment here, a commitment to yourself, a commitment to yourself to avoid the things that distract you from, uh, or avoid the things that are robbing you of the joy in life that you should be experiencing in life right now. And commit yourself, be steadfast and be firm about committing yourself to that. And and being the best that you can be essentially here, being really good and positive in the situation. Whenever I see the 5 of Swords, we can get really ugly with ourselves too. If we're not taking care of ourselves because we're under pressure, we're angry all the time, all of that stuff shows. All of that stuff shows not just in how you relate to others, but what they see coming off of you. I mean, there's an aura, and if people can't see auras, a lot of times they certainly can feel them. And so, I think here you have to keep that in mind and try to just shine your light for your own well being, and because you really want to rise above any kind of pettiness or anger or bitterness that you or others may be going through right
I
now.
like what you said about the 5 of Swords there, because the fives in every suit are pretty much the high energy values of those suits in a way. So this is really saying, yeah, like this 5 is about ugly drama that doesn't necessarily want to quit, but you can do that. And I think Banshee said that too. You kind of anchor yourself to those things that are the most important, that you have some sense of obligation to taking care of. And one of them is securing a comfortable, secure, personal home, safety home for yourself and those you care about. So I think this is a nice way to end that. And hopefully it all works out. I think it will. Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Hey, Jennifer, we have added you.
We have added you. You are on the list. Short list so far.
And just going to remind everybody, we are back Sunday, although it is a much busier show. If you arrive in the first half hour, you probably are guaranteed a spot. It's not like today where things are a little bit more relaxed. And of course, we need that break too.
And there's no Lions game because they're on Monday Night Football this week.
Yeah, that would also be like, oh, we're sorry, but it's 4 o'clock and time is up.
I gotta run and watch my game, but not Sunday.
Whoop, there it is.
All right.
So we're up with Dark Twins.
Dark Twins is up. Hello. And there's probably a question somewhere, right?
I don't remember. But if you're here, we need that question.
Yeah, if you want a reading, just let us know.
And of course, we'll give you a minute and I'll talk about another show or two. The happy hour will be at 10 a.m. this week. So you can watch that Saturday, 10 a.m. Come and get a positive, uplifting message for the day and for the week ahead.
And on Tuesday
Is the monthly modality message.
yes, Libra season begins, and we'll be doing a monthly modality.
Right, I still have the old one there. Oh, if you're going to pass, that's fine. But thanks
Okay.
for watching and giving us the view and or like.
Thank you, Dark Twins.
Appreciate that. Alrighty.
And we are on Crystal.
And Crystal left us a question. I'm going to go back to that. What is Nixon currently feeling towards me now since the courthouse contacted him about the petty civil claim? Was he shocked, upset, blindsided? Ooh. Well, for some reason, I'm not being irreverent, but I'm going to use my Joker Tarot for your question, Crystal.
Okay. So that's not a civil claim you filed against him, is it?
I think they almost implied that in a way.
Well, they did, but I seem to remember before there was somebody else who might have been. Maybe I'm thinking of a different situation. Okay.
Well, if you want to chime in at all, go right ahead.
Yeah, did you do a civil claim? Okay, yes, it is. Okay, all right.
All right.
Well, let's see.
Card one is the reversed Eight of Cups. Card 2 is the Two of Pentacles, and it's upright. Card 3 is the reversed Knight of Wands.
Well, talk about weird stuff I have here. All right.
It's the Clover and the Man, which could be Nixon, or it could be yourself, or it could be just related.
This is about Nixon, so feelings towards ah the Eight of Cups and the that's the Knight of Swords reversed. Let me just it's Knight of Wands, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to know that. All right, I'm not going to combine those together per se. I feel here the Eight of Cups reversed indicates that they feel like now there's something they have to
Address
before they can move forward, whichever way they're going to move forward in their life. They realize now they have to address this, and it's kind of making them step back, and I don't know that they're very happy about that per se.
It almost feels too like there may be a sense that it prevents them from what they feel is a necessary move in a better direction, or that not that they're being prevented, but that something is keeping them from moving in a better direction.
And the Two of Pentacles upright kind of feels like it feels like they just, are like, oh, gee, now I have to fit this into my life, or I have to take care of this now. It seems like it's not necessarily something that they feel they can't handle, but, it's just another thing. And it just seems as though with the Two of Pentacles here, they've got a lot that they're trying to deal with right now.
Two of Pentacles means maybe they feel like there's a movement for them and they want to plan to move there. Whether that involves you, perhaps because it showed up is true, is that maybe they feel they need to move more in your direction, or that they're thinking of you. Maybe they're thinking you might move in their direction. It sort of is a sense of looking at a future movement in a way.
I'm not sure I see that, but I'm
throwing it out as a possibility.
Because this was all supposed to be about their current feelings.
Right.
And I feel that
Hi, Ari.
They feel kind of stuck right now. Hey, Ari, we'll get you on the list. It's very short, so I'll just let you know that if you could see it, probably.
She says as much.
At any rate, what I was trying to say is I think the Two of Pentacles might feel like they feel like things are really up and down with their feelings towards you. They're not really settled.
That's a good observation.
It's kind of imbalanced. And when I'm looking at that Knight of Wands here too reversed, I'm kind of feeling like maybe they're feeling the need to, well, I'm worried about them taking a reckless act of some sort. I am worried about that a little bit. Like they might lash out in some way, be a little bit angry, why this is happening or why this has decided to surface now. So they could be a little bit angry with you and act out. They've got to be very careful about not being reckless with their words or their actions right now. And so that's what I'm a little concerned about with that Knight of Wands.
There's also maybe the idea that they don't really know for sure themselves how they feel about you, that they're not sure, confident, or inclined to feel they can comfortably move in your direction, even if it's just in their mind, not necessarily a physical move. So it's not that they don't think that they don't like you, it's just that they're not sure in a way. They're not confident of themselves for some reason or for this reason.
Well, I don't see, with the Knight of Wands reversed, I don't see any movement necessarily towards you in any kind of way. So, and I think that's maybe been I don't know. Has that been the case with some of our readings for you, I believe? But anyway, the guy in the clover really throws me off. Does he think for some reason something good will come out of this? Because that's what the clover is about, some luck, some spontaneity. Or I could say this, even though it is a more positive card, I got the immediate feeling when I saw this together, the only way I could really sort it out with what I was seeing here is that they were taken by surprise, that this is something that just, surprised them in some way.
So in a way, it may be that they don't know really if this could bring them luck for some strange, crazy reason or not. They may be undecided. And I sort of get that sense of undecisiveness with the Knight of Wands too.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Ah, you intimidate them. Maybe.
I think well, maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe that's what that's about and what their feelings are about. You're the one they're worried about that might be an aggressor towards them. So, they're feeling kind of good about this.
He didn't think, he may not have thought that she was capable of doing that.
Yeah, that's what I think here, that he's probably surprised by this happening. And
Thanks for giving us that.
yeah, I really, well, that's what I said at first. And I think, yeah, that you're saying it that way plays into this. And so I think they are kind of thrown off and they're trying to keep it together. They're trying to keep it together. But this energy is either about them or about what they're worried about you right now. That this was kind of an aggressive act that maybe they didn't expect from you. I mean, it might be a petty little, case, like you said.
Crystal says it was her last option.
Well, good. Well, you didn't want it to be your last option.
Oh, I see.
This court case.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
you
get
got to
that.
do what you've got to do, though, right? And clearly, I think you surprised him by this. Definitely. So that's the best we can tell you, I think, out of this reading. But I think he's definitely unable to move forward at this time. He's trying to keep it together, and he's worried about this action, maybe, because it kind of threw him off. So, well, good luck with that.
That was an amount of money, I presume. Yikes. I'm so sorry, but I hope it works out for you then.
Oh, man, yeah, that's rough. I think you definitely need to. I think you did the right thing.
I do
Okay?
too.
I'm sure you did. And so let the chips fall. I just wish you luck dealing with him because I think he is going to be a little confused and maybe a little bit agitated about this. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I definitely want you to come back and ask more when maybe a week or so's gone by and you have more information. You're welcome. Because, of course, I can almost see the spin there with the clover as to, really, is it him that's going to be lucky or is it just him that's going to be surprised? Are you going to be lucky?
I think he's surprised. I think it's all about the
Sure hope so.
thing. Yeah.
I don't think he should get away with that.
All right.
You're welcome.
Post the list. Good luck with that.
Thanks for your
Crystal.
question, Ari.
And
All right, so Nicole is up already.
yes, Nicole is up. I'm about to post.
Is Justin going to communicate with me? Like within this month, soon, or next month? Yeah, we only have about 12 days left, 13 days left. Well, we could give it a
All
shot.
right, let me get my deck. I was going to use.
And you know what? If we finish early tonight, we finish early. I'm behind on another project or two. I have editing to do on my video for tomorrow. So it's all good. Now that I've said that, a lot of people will show up. And it's kind of interesting because my Goth Tarot doesn't do tremendously great. It does okay. But today it really had a lot more views than it normally does. And I was surprised. It had about 33 or 4 views. Normally it gets maybe 20-ish, 23 or 4. I'm bragging, right?
So our card for the collective is scheduled to go out on Twitter before the end of this program. And I have to pass it around to the other things. And then I got to write my oracle. The oracle is not written for tomorrow yet. Actually, I haven't even selected a deck yet. I've been thinking about 2. So I got to narrow it down and decide.
Is Justin going to contact you within this month or next month? I have hiccups. Excuse me.
Well, the first card is the Knight of Cups reversed, the Knight.
Excuse me.
Now we got the King of Swords upright. Thank goodness he's upright. Got my favorite king when he's reversed. And we got the Fool upright.
Lenormand, the fish, and the tower. And reminding everybody that the tower in Lenormand is not really the same as Tarot's tower.
Well, interesting here. I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm going to say if he contacts you at all, it's going to probably be later. Probably be sometime in October. And I'm feeling a little bit doubtful about this for a couple of different reasons. First off, the knight is reversed here, and that could be some disappointment, in regards to maybe you hoping to reconnect with Justin in some way, that this is not, looking good. They right now may be, not happy with circumstances that have occurred, maybe, and are unwilling to make that move at this time.
Right. The Knight of Cups would said to be moving in a different direction. And so that could be physically indicating that Justin isn't moving in any way in a direction that would connect or communicate with you. But it could also be about your own feelings too, that there is a sense of you're moving towards a disappointment with this. And that it may not happen in this time frame.
Well, that
It's
could
not
be.
really not that it won't ever happen.
Or that it's a delay. But I also see him making some really important decisions right now. And whether that relates to you or whether it relates to other things going on in his life, that's what he is focused on now. He feels like he's got more clarity and he's ready to take a chance or gamble or make a move. But is it back to you? I don't know, because the Fool is often about new adventures, and it could be about a new relationship. I can't rule that out, but I can say that they're looking at doing or starting something new that may involve a little bit of a risk for them or a gamble in some way. And so it could be a job even because, when I look at the Lenormand and you have the tower and you have the fish, it could be about working, trying to find a job and bringing in some money. This could be a focus right now. And maybe that's why, the King of Swords is here. He's trying to, get himself on course job and career wise. What is your take? What do you see?
Well, with the Knight of Cups, it was easy to see where it could apply to either of you. With the King of Swords and the Fool, it seems more likely it applies to him, but it could possibly apply to you. Maybe you're the one that has to make a decision to move on too, and wait until he finally gets in touch with you. The ball is more in his court, but this mostly seems to apply to him. And I like what Banshee said there because I get the feeling like, he's just re-earned his freedom, if I recall right. And so, yes, one of his bigger concerns would be trying to seek employment and maybe pull himself out of debts or other problems that he has that are related to no economy in his life. So that could possibly apply to you too. Maybe you need, to find better employment or a better situation. But I think this is more about Justin.
Yeah, I think he wants to make some change in his life.
Yeah.
I know that, like, right, if this is the person who is in prison, this could be a prison, but it could be saying to me that, does he have some debts to pay, for example, so that he has to find, some where he has to focus on this right now. And I don't know, how responsible obviously a person Justin is. So, it might be a real struggle. But I do feel here with this King of Swords, either he's getting some help or counseling or advice from some source, or, he's thinking more clearly and rationally about trying to, you know, pay off debts or get a job, whatever the case may be.
Right. The novelty of the Fool may be saying he's trying to make better decisions in his life because in the past, many of his decisions brought him a little bit more discomfort or pain.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't rule out, it's funny here. I can't rule out, that he's still not going to have something to do with the criminal justice system, because the King of Swords can be, about somebody who
Good point.
works in legal matters and legal affairs. So I don't know if maybe part of this too is he may have to face a judge again or face somebody in, whether it's parole officers, etc., whatever the
Various
case may
checkups.
be.
Right.
That some of that is front and center right now. So these are the kind of things that might be holding him up from contacting you.
We
And
hope he does eventually.
that's what we've got for you. Good luck with that.
Good luck, Nicole.
And Kara's up.
Hey,
Kara.
Kara. And yes, so tomorrow will be the emotional exchanges. That's on at 7 o'clock. It's good for the whole week, and it's got timestamps, so you can go directly to your zodiac signs reading. There's a complete reading for each sign of the zodiac, and they're like 2 minutes long each. What could be shorter? The vibe for the week, top card, or the bottom card. Will you be lucky in romance, love, etc.? What does Odin want you to focus on? Alrighty, let's take a look. So that's tomorrow at 7. Join us. And I want to use...
Join us at 7 tomorrow,
or whenever you can.
7 a.m.
In spirit, you will be there at 7 a.m. No matter what time it is you actually
The
watch
video.
the show.
Come when you can.
Come as you are. I'm going to use the Gothic Tarot.
For Goth Odin.
Yes. Well, hey, there's nothing more goth than hanging on a tree with your eye plucked out for 9 days. That's like metal goth. Am I right? Am I right?
All right, I'll buy that.
All right. So what does Odin want? Is that your method?
Yes.
Alrighty. Card 1. The High Priestess reversed. Odin may think you need to focus on common sense things. You need to focus on things that might seem mundane but are important. So, for example, it could be related to your physical lifestyle. So it could be saying Odin wants you to focus or continue focusing on better eating or getting out and walking around, exercise, things like that, or general education.
Well, I really like that actually. I sometimes go in a different direction with the High Priestess, but I do feel that Odin might want you to focus on mundane concerns at this time. Not so much the spiritual realm, but practical things in your life, whether it has to do with your health, your body, whether it has to do with, mentally stimulating activities, and to, because things are really stressful right now in the mundane world, and it's almost all too easy to try to distract ourselves from some of the issues we're all facing today. But maybe Odin wants you to focus more attention on what's going on in the world around you as well as your own world right now. and take care of any matters that need to be addressed. But I guess we're going to find that out. Why is this important?
Well, I had one
Oh,
other
go
thought I
ahead.
wanted to get to, and I thought maybe this is also about saying that your own card reading or certain divinations you might be getting, you might want to think about them with a grain of salt. Odin knows that only TFT delivers the best messages for you. So anyone else, is suspect. No, actually, everybody is. But I think that could be saying that, be a little bit wary about some of the predictions you're seeing for yourself or you're hearing from others. All
Or
right,
you're
so
hearing even from us.
even from us. Okay. Hey, I wouldn't steer you wrong, Kara, my dear. But why is this important? The Queen of Wands. Well, she's kind of dark for the Queen of Wands, but it is the Queen of Wands, and she is upright.
Wow. Maybe, hey,
You think so, Dark Twins? Thank you. I appreciate hearing that.
maybe because Odin thinks that, this is a time to focus on your physical self. I'm feeling that here, and this isn't necessarily to wow the world, but to make you feel better about yourself. Remember, didn't we have a discussion not that long ago, Kara, about either new hairstyles, new wardrobe, new things? Maybe this is also about your body, like I said, the hair, facials, doing something that, is really going to uplift and make you feel more beautiful without and more magnetic. Because also, you got to remember that this is, it's about you. When you feel good and you feel beautiful, other people pick that up from you too. So, that's what it's about, is to make yourself feel beautiful and happy that way. Not that you aren't. It's just that it's time maybe to do something that really makes you shine and sparkle. Okay, put a little glitter in your hair, you know?
So, Dark Twins brings up something that I think is really important, and I think that's true that sometimes card reading is to all of us, that some of the messages we read for Jamie's Cowboys or for Shirley or anyone can also resonate a little bit to ourselves too. I think that's a really
That is a
cool
good point.
concept to bring up, so I thank you for that.
All right, Sonny.
So,
Sonny came
to
back for
me,
you,
that
Kara.
Queen of Wands, why it's important, Queen of Wands could also be about an energy level too, that maybe whatever this really is, whether this is about focusing on the world instead of yourself right now, the Queen of Wands really is focusing about yourself too in a different kind of way. It's focusing on energy levels and it's focusing on what your impact is. By realizing what those things are, you might have a bigger impact because that's what the Queen of Wands is. She sort of walks in and she owns everything.
Yeah. Right. So be like a boss.
Be like a boss,
Be like
Kara.
you are, be a boss. And walk in the room, any room you enter with authority.
Where does this ultimately go? Reversed Nine of Cups. Oh well, we were doing so well.
Well, where things are headed is that,
It actually is
oh,
kind of
go ahead.
a reflection back to this one where we were saying maybe mundane things are more important. Maybe this is saying what you've been really thinking you enjoy or want to enjoy or what you want to own isn't as important as something else that maybe is more within yourself in a way too. So it sort of turns the tables in a way too, because it's saying things of the world really may call to us, but you can also realize what your values are by the traits or things you believe in inside yourself too. And those are worthy of keeping.
I have a different thought on that.
Of course you do.
You know what? Where things are headed, okay, Kara, um, don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. Don't like go crazy. Maybe some of the changes that you need to make are subtle ones, you know. Sometimes small changes can really do the trick. And so I think here, nothing in excess, you know, make sure, you know, you don't have to get carried away. You don't need to shoot Botox in you or, you know, some of the things people
But
do.
if you do it on a Zoom, people might give you money to watch.
But, you know, even the minorest changes, in other words, just make sure that what you're doing, you're satisfied with it. You know, you're happy with it. And maybe you should just go small at first, because if you go small, you can always add on to things. But let's just say if you go for the bald look, well, you're going to have to get a wig or something to cover that up. So if you don't like it. So maybe think smaller, modest improvements that just make you sparkle a little bit more, shine, and feel good self esteem. And then take it from there, see where it leads you.
Ultimately, the reverse Nine of Cups could just be saying, love yourself for what you really are without having to go through very strange things to be there. Am I right?
Odin wants you to look and be your best.
It's the coffin.
Yep, it is.
And the mountain. You're pushing a coffin up the mountain. Of course, that's hard.
You're not. The challenges that the mountain, you know, Odin wants you to lighten up on, you know, any kind of challenges or troubles that you've been facing. He wants you to put them to bed for a while and focus on yourself. Give some attention to yourself, your appearance, your looks, your style, things that will make you feel good this season, you know? And just leave some of your troubles behind, some of the struggles behind. I think it's also saying that maybe, you know, if you've been feeling unhappy with yourself, you know, and it's been a struggle for you to figure out what it is you need to do to make yourself feel better, I think that's going to come to an end. You're going to start looking at yourself and deciding, yeah, maybe it's time for me to do this now. Maybe it's time for me to change my wardrobe. Maybe it's time for me to uh, get a haircut, you know, because it's definitely past time for this person here to get a haircut.
So I don't know if you said this, but are you saying that there are struggles or some amount of hardship or struggles trying to end things, or when you are
Coming
ending
to an
things?
end. They're
What?
coming to an end.
Okay, I always think
Oh,
this card
that's
influences that card.
well, the struggles are here and they're coming to an end,
Okay.
right? So I think here, you know, it's interesting to get this card after what I've said. It's true, but I think what it's saying is, you know, this will make you be able to manage your struggles so much better so that you can put an end to them.
But if we
You
are
could put it
talking
that
about,
way.
you know, you making certain changes, you know, moving your dynamics radically in certain ways, you may find that it is a little bit hard to end certain things, but it doesn't mean you won't.
All right, that's a good idea. I mean, for example, if you know you feel the need to change your diet again, if you feel the need to or get on a diet or do more exercise, you know, yeah, you know, you may have some more challenges to face here. So, I mean,
But there's the sun at the top of the mountain.
but you can handle this. You can handle this. He feels this is not a big deal for you. And maybe that's the point here, too. He doesn't want you to make this a big deal. He wants you to just do something that's nice for yourself and will make you feel better about yourself.
Come to Daddy Odin. Okay, maybe not.
I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what's wrong with him. Sonny, I got to move you slightly to bring this back, and you know you're not supposed to get all that hair on my computer. Ay.
Alrighty, so have a good one, Kara.
Good luck with that, Kara. I expect a makeover soon.
Yeah, we want to see it. Permanent elf ears.
Well, I don't know about that. But anyway.
All right, and so Jennifer's up, and Jennifer asks, I would like to know E's feelings towards me. Uh-huh.
Somebody's feelings towards her?
E.
E?
E is an eagle.
All right, that's my deck. Let's try the pumpkin deck. All right. Jack-o'-lantern tarot. Ah,
Well, that's interesting. I don't want to make too many generalizations, but I've heard that about some Gemini folks that I've known or I've known of, that sometimes they do the ghosting thing, and I'm not sure what that really implies.
and you're a Gemini too. Huh. All right. Well, let's see what's going on.
Those air signs.
You're attracting, your own astrology sign to you, apparently. That's interesting.
Well, some signs do that, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. All right.
I actually know of, I believe, two couples. One, I know she's my former coworker. I've never met her husband. He's a Scorpio, she's a Gemini. They're crazy in love. And I know another couple that's Scorpio Gemini too, and I don't know as much about them, but it seems like they're a good couple too. I'm not suggesting Scorpio for you, Jennifer.
Trust me, Scorpios are a handful. All right.
But we're a good handful.
Well, look at this. Wait a minute. Geminis are what? They're fire, water, air.
They're air. King of Swords, which
King
of
of
course,
air.
usually in our system of tarot, swords are air. Some people use wands
Right.
as the air element, but we see it as swords.
Ah, but the Five of Wands is here.
It's upright. Both of these are upright, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And more swords, but reversed. It's the Eight of Swords. That's one of those cards that seems to be a bit better when it's reversed. Alrighty. Lenormand, Anchor, and Key.
Well,
Well, darn it.
if this is reflective of E, which I think it could be, and that rhymed. I think it could be. They seem to be very smart, savvy. They don't take their decisions lightly. They're very careful and fair-minded. I think they are nice. They seem to be a good person. So, in a way, I don't see ghosting to be the problem here, but I will say, sometimes, you know, even if you are the same sign, there may be some disagreements or, some differences of opinion on things that you guys will have to work out. I sense here that there are some things about the two of you that may match perfectly, but there are some things that maybe could cause some, areas of disagreement or dialogue, things that need to be worked out.
Well,
I'm going to stop there.
The question was more about E's feelings towards you. So I understand this as this could be E, but I could also see this being E saying you match him in certain ways, like you're his equal in certain ways because you're both Geminis and you're both, reasonably in control. Or he feels that you're fair-minded, you're very good at decisions. I mean, it could be that too. But I sort of feel like it's a little bit like he recognizes in you somebody that's very similar in a way. So then that sort of makes the Five of Wands make sense too, because in a way, when you're that similar, maybe the relationship sort of takes on certain tones that make you like vying for position.
Like that. Well, that's exactly,
Vying for position.
Right. There could be some power struggles in this relationship, but I'm not sure it's really terrible. I'm not sure it is.
Right, I'm not either.
No, because everything looks like positive here for the most part. I think if since you did ask yes, the way you asked it, I think that this is saying that, he's he's really going to be fair in the way he treats you. So I think he's looking at you fairly. I don't think he's somebody who would dump you in that manner. He would be more upfront about it and, probably tell you the reasons why if that were to happen. But I think here you will have some things you have to work out between each other. And that kind of falls into that card a little bit, doesn't
May
it?
I?
You may.
Well, that leads us to the reversed Eight of Swords. And maybe this is saying that he thinks either or both of you have come out of an illusion or have come out of a situation where you may have felt you were restrained in a way, but you realize you're not really restrained. That could be, or it could be saying like maybe he wanted to ghost you in a way, because that's almost like, depending on those energies wobbling, there's a sense of being cut off from or no longer being cut off from. Am I crazy?
Well, when you threw the ghosting thing out, because I'm really not necessarily seeing that. I'm really not. But I
Okay.
like what he said for the most part. But I think what this is saying is now there's something, he feels sort of more comfortable with himself, talking to you. I mean, I think, are you kind of telling me you guys kind of just met or whatever? So it may take some time, but I think he feels a comfortability here about being himself. And so I think you'll be able to at least see him for what he really is. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it here.
Okay, and you just met. Uh,
Yeah, okay. So I think you will probably, if you talk more, which I'm hoping I may see that here. I guess the key is this. The key is this. Does he want to anchor himself to you?
okay, I like that, and I definitely could agree with that. But something pops into my head here
Okay.
with the reversed Eight of Swords, and I'm losing it. Long day, right? Um, but moving out of an illusion or a feeling like maybe you were in unapproachable to each other or something like that, moving away from an idea, maybe that's where the ghosting comes in, because he's now having this realization that maybe there are no barriers, there are nothing holding each of you back in a way.
From ghosting each
Well,
other?
no, from getting better, but he's not quite there yet. I know I'm really all over the place here.
You are.
Sorry. Let's just go to the key and the anchor, because
I did
those are
already.
relevant. I know. Well, now it's my turn, honey.
What?
So it's exactly true. I think that in terms of his feelings towards you, maybe he just wasn't confident and he didn't want to show that. That sort of is the ultimate what I'm getting with that Eight of Swords reverse. But really, he really probably does want to get to know you better. I don't know if it's really going to become a relationship, but I think he's willing to explore it maybe.
The only negative card I see here is this one in the middle.
Okay.
And I really feel that if unless he's already got the impression, which I doubt since you just met, that there are differences here that just mean this is not going to work out, I'm pretty sure you're going to hear from him again. I'm sure you will probably have more dialogue, and hopefully it will help him determine whether he wants to pursue a relationship with you. But I'm very confident. Well, boy, I'm really putting my neck out here,
You talk a lot.
and I talk a lot.
No, I meant they do.
Oh, I'm very confident that he will probably be upfront with you if he's going to break off with you.
And that's so Gemini that you talk a lot. Let's just be honest,
Isn't
Jennifer.
that what Gemini's do, for goodness sakes? I mean, you are my rising sign, okay? And I know about me and communication. So, anyway,
Hopefully that means that you are moving somewhere.
keep us posted. I'm very curious what happens with this one. So I wish you a lot of luck. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic here. I'm really more optimistic than not that maybe you'll get to know each other a little bit more. So good luck with that.
Alrighty. You're welcome. That was fun. I hope you liked it. I did get a little giddy there at the end there.
Yeah, well,
When I get giddy, then I kind of go off the rails and
but he also had to go to the dentist. Something
oh
went
yeah,
wrong in his teeth.
a tooth fell out.
Yeah, and he's got some major dental work in his future. Me, I had a very taxing workout with the seniors today, believe it or not, and I'm just really run down from it. So
Yeah, my dental work is probably going to cost money. I have to have at least one implant, and those cost.
yeah, we'll have to raise some funds for that.
All right, we are on Airy.
All right, Ari, let's see what you got for us. All right.
Why is Ella, who is in Aquarius, still ghosting me a little bit? Is there something she's not telling me? She's been texting me, not
She's
texting
not
me,
been texting.
but she has been telling me that things are okay between us.
And then basically wonder if she's actually being honest with me or not. Days ago, but hasn't texted me since. She used to be more consistent than she's been lately. Well, let's see if it's just a matter of her being busy or if there's something to it. Let's check it out. All right. Oh, I need these
My
back.
tarot, right?
Your deck. Yeah.
I'm going to use the uh, tarot, the Gothic Tarot of Vampires.
Ooh, that's scary, Mister.
Well, I like it. It's kind of a little central, but it's also kind of hard hitting. I like the images.
It's really funny because last Thursday we had a
We
full
did
list,
pretty
a
well,
pretty
yeah.
full
We did
list.
full.
And this week, where is everybody?
I swear you're inviting them. All of a sudden, 12 people are going to show up.
I know I shouldn't have said anything. Well, it'll be nice to kind of get some of the other stuff done we have to do today.
Yeah.
And I'm still working out the particulars for the WTF TFT show I'm going to be doing.
Okay, Ari. Let's throw our cards.
Oh,
Let's
and
see.
this weekend, because I made my son watch a Lions game last year, which he didn't want to do, I promised him I would sit with him and watch a wrestling pay-per-view because that's his thing, wrestling. And I mean, I used to go with him as a child to wrestling matches, so it's not a big deal. So I'm doing that this Saturday. It's going to be a big pay-per-view with the wrestling group he watches, and I'm going to hang out with my boy.
I will not.
He will not.
Find
He will
something
have
else.
nothing to do with that.
Okay, the reversed Ace of Wands, the upright Five of Cups.
Really?
Yeah, I know. That's almost like ghosting per se.
I don't know if it's ghosting, but it's something. All right.
Upright, another Five of Swords.
No.
And look at that. That's pretty grim looking there.
Has something poisoned this relationship? I mean,
It started.
hey, not trying to throw blame anywhere
No,
because
of
you
course not.
don't know what'll set somebody off. But, well, those are some pretty powerful, not great cards there, Ari. Let's take a look. What the Lenormand? Oh,
And the Fox.
so the man and the fox. There's always a guy, isn't there? So is this person seeing anybody right now? This Ellie, maybe somebody is really dominating their time, or maybe, kind of
I know.
controlling their access to people right now. Um, Whatever the case may be, the Ace of Cups is reversed here. So, or are they going through a breakup with somebody right now that's kind of messy? I wonder about that.
Are they a newer friend too? If this is a new friendship, then maybe it's showing signs of not really standing the test of
So
time.
many questions here, Ari, but something maybe souring your friendship, maybe something was really good for a while, but it just seems as though it's taken a negative turn with this Ace of Cups reversed. Or, like I said, it could be something going on in her personal life right now that she's dealing with that's causing her some emotional distress that maybe she's keeping to herself.
Well, with the Five of Cups there, it almost feels like maybe, she feels she suffered a loss in some way. Um, Maybe she feels you're not as friendly with her. Maybe she has reasons to believe that they may not be truthful reasons. I'm almost wondering, though, if she feels like you're ghosting her or you're avoiding her. It could just be she's really confused about, the nature of your friendship and or something else is bothering her.
Well, or something else is bothering her. And, she's not involved with a person. I mean, this could be family, this could be other friends in her life. Maybe she's going through some issues with right now. And, the Five of Cups is definitely a loss of some sort. And so she's
Okay.
dealing with some disappointment or some emotional distress. And if you can't imagine, anything, between the two of you that could have caused that, then it must be something else
No, I believe Ari. She's not been trying to avoid this woman.
that's really been going on with her life. So let's take a look. The last card again.
That's the worst.
Yeah, I know. That's it. So it's almost like she's struggling or fighting with someone or maybe even some internal battle. It's kind of like what we said with Sapphire Flower in the beginning when she had this card, except she had it, wasn't hers reversed, I think? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't reversed, but it was
Somebody had it reversed, I thought.
maybe, I don't remember.
It's really funny because the Five of Cups came up in a film taping I was doing today for my Material Matters, so I did it a day early. And I think here, this is a pretty tough situation, whatever she's facing. And it may be what's pulling her away. It may be what's pulling her away right now. And I'm saying a guy is involved, but is the guy a family member? Is the guy a coworker where she works at who's harassing her in some way? Is it somebody else in her life? I mean, and just because it is a guy, it doesn't have to be a guy. Like I said, this is a significator. It could be somebody who's in her life, whether it's male or female, that's causing some disruption right now. And I get the feeling that she feels like maybe this person lied to her, betrayed to her in some way, or is manipulating her in some way. So
Those things kind of play into that Five of Swords for me a little bit, or
yeah,
vice versa.
yeah.
Because the Five of Swords says that maybe Ella feels she's in a situation she has no choice but to back down of. Right. She doesn't think she can really project her energy to fight the situation. Her best recourse maybe is just to move away from it.
So maybe she's okay with you. Like I said, if you can't imagine what could be coming between the two of you, there's something external going on here. And you should just say, hey, if and I would be
We can
very,
talk.
very general about this. I just say, hey, it's always good to hear from you. And, I wish I could hear from you more. If there's anything, you ever need help with or need to unload, just let me know, and just try to be a friend and supportive, but not acting like and being really pushy. Is anything wrong? What's going on in your life? Just saying, hey, just always know I'm here for you.
Tell her you'll be there
I
for her.
enjoy your company or, your conversation. So you might want to do that because it appears whether it's just inside of them or it's with somebody else, there's something going on. Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's you now. I realize that. I think it's probably just because the situation is very stressful. There's possible wrath or anger involved, and there's certainly emotions of helplessness or loneliness. So you probably want to reach out and just tell her you can talk, to just assure her that can be there for her if you can.
Yeah, but like I said, I would treat it in a more, because
Just
some people, they just want certain things in their life to be separate, even with friends. Some friends just don't open up that much to each other, And so, especially, they don't want to burden their friend with something going on in their life. So just say, hey, if anything is really distressing you or you need help with anything, just let me know. Talk to me. You can always talk to me. And that's it. I just leave it like that so that, they don't get defensive right away. So you don't want that to happen. All right. I think that's what we have for you. We gotta leave it at that. Interesting.
Well, thank you, Ari.
Good question, though. And those cards are definitely pointing to something.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your friend, and I hope that,
Well, I hope it's not anything serious. Sometimes I think some of the negative cards come up too when people make a crisis out of something that they could probably manage, but they get all anxious and nervous or stressed, and maybe they're blowing it a little bit more out than they need to. But I don't know. Those are some pretty heavy cards there. So,
yeah, two fives. I mean,
yeah.
fives really,
And the Ace of Cups reversed.
yeah.
It's almost as if something is kind of closing her heart right now. And maybe that's why she's just kind of pulling back from things. So,
She might just be trying to deal with this on her own.
yeah. I wish you luck with that. I wish her luck with that. All right.
All right, well, we're going to talk about our shows briefly because the show is over. We literally are 35 minutes early, but tomorrow morning you can watch my show, The Emotional Exchanges. You can find out what your vibe is for the week, whether there'll be love or not so much. Will you be lucky? These things will happen for each sign of the zodiac in a very quick reading, and it's timestamp. It's at 7 a.m. in the morning, tomorrow morning. Check it out. It's good for any time you happen to get there. And then on Saturday morning, happy hour.
Happy hour! Happy hour. Come and get a positive message. My gosh, there has been so much doom and gloom in our cards, in the world, you name it. How about coming and getting a happy card? And because even with all the doom and gloom, we have moments of light in our life. So come and get a positive message from us on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You're welcome, Ari.
And what's on Sunday, Mr. O?
Why, what is it indeed? It's Banshee's Material Matters at 10 a.m. It's a pre-recorded show for, once again, all the signs of the zodiac, giving a weekly rundown of what your tarot keys to success in business, education, and finance. Hey, I got it right.
Hey, you did. I'm impressed.
And what time is it on, dear?
Oh, well, that's going to be at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, and we're live in the chat, so you can chat with us. But we're not doing questions. You just get to hear the readings that I've done for the astrological signs of the zodiac for the week ahead. And everybody wants to know about money, right? Right?
Right.
And of course, Sunday we have a live show. We have birthday readings on our next 3 shows. So we'll be starting the show off with a happy birthday reading for people. And that's always a lot of fun. We like doing those readings.
So that's it. And then we're back to a new week.
Now, but no, wait, there's more. There's that monthly.
When is that going to be? Saturday?
No,
Sunday?
but Monday. Tuesday.
Okay, so it'll be Monday or Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Tuesday is when the sun enters Libra. And so happy birthday to all you Libras out there. And hopefully you will have a great modality.
That's right, Harry. All right, everyone.
All right, well, I guess that's it. That's our show. Sunny is going to go to sleep now.
We are going to go back to work in our
go back to work.
Studio lab.
And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It was a short show, but
shorter.
Sometimes less is more. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening, and we hope to see you all real soon.
Bye-bye.